Kennesaw Mountain is a mountain located in North Atlanta, Georgia, with a peak of 1,808 feet. It is part of the Kennesaw Mountain Battlefield Park, and we walked the red loop to get to the top of Big Kennesaw Mountain.
In 1917, President Woodrow Wilson made Kennesaw Mountain a national battlefield site, but in 1935, FDR changed it into a national battlefield park. Kennesaw Mountain consists of one mountain with two peaks and a spur, which is called Pigeon Hill. It's located in the Piedmont region and called a monadnock, which is a lonely mountain since it's not part of a chain. The mountain consists of steep slopes with numerous outcrops of rock faces and boulders, yet the mountain is pretty much entirely forested. It is mainly characterized by metamorphic rock.
So how and when was Kennesaw Mountain formed? It was formed approximately 1 billion to 300 million years ago through a series of mountain building events or orogenies. Geologic time period was late Precambrian to early Paleozoic. The rocks on Kennesaw Mountain have been the subject to weathering for a very long time, too.
The national park uses these small boulders and large gravel from the Vulcan Quarry in Kennesaw, Georgia, for trail maintenance and reconstruction, rather than harvesting and damaging local rock on the mountain. These rocks show very little weathering.
Kennesaw Mountain consists mostly of gneiss, a type of metamorphic rock that is common in Georgia. Almost any rock subjected to high temperature and pressure regional metamorphism, also known as high grade, can form gneiss. The gneiss have visible banding alternating between light and dark gray. The light contains minerals such as feldspar and quartz, while the dark contains amphibole minerals. It is thought that the dark gneiss found on top of Kennesaw Mountain are from an old ocean bottom due to plate tectonics.
This rock was the perfect example of gneissic banding, with the alternating layers of light and dark. Many of the gneiss boulders found on the mountain are covered in a vast flora of lichens and mosses.
The red, rusty color of this rock is due to the weathering of the minerals inside of it. It's hard to know the exact type and color of the rock without breaking it open and seeing the inside.
In many of the rocks, we found interesting fracture patterns, most likely from weathering over time.
Along the slopes, especially the southeastern, there are many boulder fields. The boulders didn't roll upwards, and the Pleistocene glaciers never reached this far south to push them up, so they must have formed where they lie and have been unearthed by erosion and other weathering.
There are even evidence of man-made interactions with the rock as seen through this rusted nail.
Pictured right now is a dike, a tabular discordant intrusion which cuts across layers of country rock. We even found a possible dike in many of the rocks along the trail, including this one.
At the top of the mountain, we took pictures that show the gneissic banding of light and dark layers and show the evidence of differential weathering in the banded gneiss. The dark layers are possibly hornblends or pyroxenes, which are softer on the Mohs hardness scale and more weatherable than the quartz and feldspar, which dominantly make up the light layers. The white layers are a little more resistant to erosion, which creates that bumpy texture. The yellowish colors could be because of iron oxides, which can have a rusty or yellowish color, but also lichens could also be causing this staining.
Kennesaw Mountain is a national battlefield park for the Civil War battles that took place from June 19 to July 2, 1864. The mountain was The mountain was part of the march of Union General Sherman and part of the last-ditch effort of the Confederate General Johnston. The height of Big Kennesaw Mountain offered a vantage point for Confederate troops to watch the advancing Union. These Confederate canyons are made of bronze, which is made up of a mixture of copper and zinc, which explains why they have rusted green over time. Although the Battle of Kennesaw Mountain was considered a Confederate victory, the Union General Sherman went from Kennesaw to Atlanta and burned it, then began his march to the sea, which brought the Union closer to its Civil War victory. Also, another fun fact is that since the city of Atlanta grew from the ashes of the Civil War, its motto is Resurgence, and its symbol is a phoenix.